Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this video is going to be the 2-week update on this test panel with all these products that we have applied. So if you haven't seen any of the videos so far, definitely check the first few out. But what we've done is we've applied 6 different spray sealants onto this test panel, plus one small section with a ceramic coating. So the ceramic coating section is this little small square at the end, but we have Carpro cquartz UK 3.0. Then for the spray sealants, we have Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions ceramic spray coating, Meguiars hybrid ceramic wax, Mother's CMX ceramic spray coating, Bowdens own bead machine, NV Jet, and Carpro Reload. So anyway, what we're going to be doing today is rinsing this panel down. Has been over 14 days now since they were applied, but 14 days since our first rinse. So they've cured for a full 14 days basically. It's had one wash since, and it has sat outside in the weather every single day since it cured. So we've had a few surprises so far. A couple of the products after one wash didn't look as good as they did at the initial rinse, which is surprising. So at this 2-week mark, we're going to see if there's been any more of a difference. Now, yeah, like I said, this is stayed outside in the weather, so it has seen some rain, lots of sun, very windy here at the moment this week, so be interesting to see how they're lasting. What we're going to be doing is giving a quick rinse off, and then we're going to wash it with Carpro Reset, and then rinse it off, and we'll do a little quick sheeting test, see if we can sheet the whole panel and cover the whole panel and flood it in water, or if it will just be too hydrophobic and resist the water. And we'll do also a bead test comparing each product. So hopefully you guys are keen for this, and if you have not already seen the previous ones, like I said, there is a playlist linked below with all the videos in this series. So yeah, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you're keen to see these type of tests, and yeah, subscribe if you aren't already, show your support for the channel. But with all that said, let's get into our initial rinse. Okay, so let's give it an initial rinse. So the panel's pretty dusty from sitting outside. So we'll rinse it off and see how it's looking before we wash. So here's the cquartz ceramic section, the turtle wax, so I'll move the camera a little bit so you guys can see some of these other products. So here we have, so here's the Mother's CMX, the Bowdens, NV Jet, and Carpro Reload. So there's the quick rinse done. Let's go ahead and give it a quick wash as well with Carpro Reset, and then we'll see how the panels are actually looking after the wash. Alright, so we've rinsed it. Let's give it our contact wash. Okay, so there's our contact wash done. Let's go ahead and rinse this down and just see how these products are really looking once they've been cleaned. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is just do a flooding test. So here is the cquartz. So I'll try and get the camera in for that. You can see the water just doesn't really want anything to do with that section. The turtle wax ceramic. You can see we're able to completely cover that section. So let's adjust that camera a little bit. So we can completely flood that, and then it takes its sort of time to sheet. Obviously it's sheeting quite fast that you can see there, but that's interesting because yeah, it's definitely degraded since the first application. Is sheeting well, so it's definitely like still performing, but yeah, not at the level that it originally was. Okay, so let's move on to the Meguiars hybrid ceramic and the Mother's CMX. So a clear difference. Checking out the CMX now. So yeah, those two, I know we're on a little bit more of an angle, so the water is running over this side, but if it was completely running off, it would do it like the cquartz section has, and not just stick, slowly sheet. So the Bowdens bead machine. So you can even see at the end of the panel where the products aren't applied, the slow sheeting that's happening there compared. The NV Jet. Also looking amazing. And the Carpro Reload. Now, Carpro Reload is extremely easy to flood now and very slow sheeting. I'll even flood this turtle wax ceramic just to show you the difference. So look, we've just flooded the turtle wax ceramic and it is sheeting out, whereas this Carpro Reload a lot slower. So this turtle wax is actually going to be dry first. So it's clearly still performing better than the Carpro Reload. Very slow sheet from this after only 2 weeks and 2 washes, so pretty surprising. And you can see the turtle wax is basically dry now. So other than those two on the end, I mean, it's kind of hard to judge. Now, I do have the panel, it's a bit of an angled driveway, so it is angled a little bit more this way. So these sections here are kind of holding the water a little better because there's just not as much angle for the water to go, but I mean, it kind of looking like NV Jet isn't looking as good as it did at the start, but we'll confirm that with our beading test. So yeah, there we go, there's the sheeting. So only really 2 panels, 2 sections that we completely flood with water. And that is the turtle wax and the Carpro Reload. The rest, quite hydrophobic. Okay, so onto our beading test. So it's gonna miss the panel. So the cquartz compared to the turtle wax. So let's bring the camera back a little bit. So there is our cquartz. Super hydrophobic. Compare it to this little test section here. And then compare it to the turtle wax. So you can see the turtle wax is still beading up quite well up in this section here. Quite nice beads there, not very rounded, but comparing it, it's quite obvious that there's a big difference there. So now we'll sort of get a bit of a difference, move this camera a little bit, between our turtle wax and the Meguiars. So putting the hose right in between the two, you can see a clear difference. Meguiars really repelling the water, turtle wax letting it stick and then repelling. Coming over to the CMX, also looking great, and comparing with the Meguiars, So yeah, the Mothers and the Meguiars looking very similar, I've got to say. Move over a little bit more to our next. So then we've got Bowdens and NV. We'll start off comparing the Bowdens to the Mothers. So in person, I can see just a little difference there. The water's sticking to the Mothers a tiny bit more. Like, I really don't think it's much of anything, but just holding that flat on there, it kind of looks like, yeah, the Mothers can let the water stick a little bit more. I really don't think that means much, but just something I noticed. So yeah, the Bowdens probably looking the best. Now the NV also looking amazing, and comparing it to the Bowdens, yeah, I'm going to say that the Bowdens is looking a little bit better, a little bit more hydrophobic. You can see the water just here where it's hitting. You can see that it is kind of sticking for that split second longer on the NV jet section, but still not much in it, and amazing beads from all of these. Okay, let's come over to what has been something that is failing the most, which is Carpro Reload. I'm seeing a clear difference between the rest. So you can see that a massive difference when you just do that exact same spray onto each product. You're going to have to now wait for this to sheet off. So we'll use this little section here at the corner. So let's hold it right in the middle. So yeah, obviously the water is just completely sticking for the Carpro, and it is repelling for the NV. Comparing the test section, hopefully you can see that on the camera. So it doesn't look much different until you stop, and then the sheeting begins for the Carpro Reload. And also the beads on the Carpro, it's beading, but they're not exactly the nicest if you compare these two. So I mean, super tight beading here, and yeah, not the nicest in the Carpro section. So yeah, quite interesting results after 2 weeks. Carpro Reload being, I think, the most expensive product on here and performing the worst. Now, full disclosure before any sort of Carpro fans get upset, Carpro is actually my favourite detailing brand. I use all of their products, and there's only a few of their products that I don't really like, and Reload is one of them. I just have never had good results from it. And you can see why I don't really like it much. Now I use their ceramic coating, and you actually get the Reload with the ceramic coating. You get a little 50ml bottle, which is what we've applied with, and I don't actually even bother using it because it's basically, after you apply your coating section, you don't want it to get wet for 24 hours, so they give you Reload to put on top just while the coating cures, to protect, just in case any water does come, it'll sit on top of the Reload rather than on top of the coating. So that's the only reason I even have any. I've never bought any other than once, a little test sample, and I didn't like it. It's now looking like Turtle Wax Ceramic is quite similar. Just as much as they advertise they have 6+ months protection, it just isn't coming across that way for me. Now I've only done one layer with all of these spray sealants, but even so, if someone would say, oh, you should do 2 layers, well then, I mean, compare it to this Meguiars with 2 layers, or the Mothers with 2 layers, with 1 layer. These all have 1 layer, so putting 2 layers on that, I don't think it's going to give it our 6-month protection. So yeah, pretty interesting results this week. So a couple of changes. Kind of almost feeling like NV isn't looking as strong as it did, so I'm actually going to say that Bowdens is looking the best. It is hard to tell though. It's going to be more obvious as time goes on. But yeah, I don't know, actually NV, It's really hard to call these two. I think NV and Bowdens looking the best. I'm going to just give a slight edge to Bowdens, I think, but there's nothing really in it. The CMX and the Mothers, really not far behind, but I'm going to see a little bit more water sticking to those. Not that really matters. And then we'll just quickly get rid of a bunch of this water. We might just do a quick test with the leaf blower now. Okay guys, so we just did the leaf blower test. I've just quickly wet the panel down again, but yeah, you can see some clear differences there. Yep, cquartz, super easy section because it's tiny, but obviously water doesn't want anything to do with it. The turtle black's a little bit stickier, but when we came over to the Carpro Reload, it actually, not like I had trouble drying it, but actually really had to hold the leaf blower on. I had a few sections it was sticking. So here's a close-up now of just the beading comparison as well. So that's the Carpro. That's the NV, the Bowdens, the Mothers, the Meguiars, and the Turtle Wax. So I mean, you can see a clear difference between, oh, and I should show the cquartz. So you can see a clear difference between these two on the end. They're just not as round. So if we come in close, it is a clear difference because they did all start off looking like this, these nice round beads. Now they're sort of looking not quite the same. So yeah, that is going to be our 2-week update. So now there's going to be another one of these every week. So every Saturday at 9 AM, these videos will come out in this series until we are finished with it. I'm trying to get the time to film some other bonus stuff for midweek uploads, which will be Wednesday at 9 AM. So yeah, definitely subscribe if you haven't already. And if you do want to support the channel and help me buy the next round of products that I'm going to be testing, I've had a few suggestions already, such as IGL, and definitely need to get some more Geon stuff because I don't actually have any at the moment, but I have used their stuff in the past. So I do want to do a few more tests and pick up a couple of foam cannons, a few more snow foams, and a bunch of other things to test in the future. So if you guys are wanting to help me out and support the channel to buy those things, or if you just enjoyed the content and want to shout me a beer for whatever reason, there is a link in the description. You can head over there and you can shout me a beer, or 5 or 10, 2, whatever you'd like. It's $5 each. It's just a one-time payment. You can do as many as you'd like, as often as you'd like, or don't even look at it at all. That's fine. But yeah, just thought I would put that out there. So if you guys would like to help me out, you can click on the link in the description, shout me a beer, and any money that you guys donate will, maybe it'll go to 1 or 2 beers, but is mostly for picking up new products to test. So yeah, that is it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. But with that said, until next time, I'll catch you later.